You had already been trapped on the deserted island for 20 days. The shell you finally managed to find looked edible, but when you opened it, you discovered it was full of sand. Even so, you stuffed the conch meat into your mouth, but the strong, fishy, rotten smell made you spit it all out. You turned your head and looked enviously at the young man not far away, who was cooking food in front of a small fire. Before eating, he even dipped it into some kind of secret sauce. To fill your stomach, you decided to sacrifice your dignity a little. You swayed your hips while walking back and forth in front of the young man. Sure enough, after only a few steps, the young man called out to you. But he made an unreasonable request. He wanted you to kiss him. You thought, it won't kill me, so you gave him a kiss. After that, he grabbed a large piece of food and handed it to you. You started eating eagerly. Even the coconut water he gave you carried a bit of his taste. From that moment on, the two of you depended on each other to survive. With his excellent skills, the young man always managed to catch unexpected food. With both of you working together, you soon built a small, fully enclosed hut. No woman can resist 8-pack abs, and the girl slowly fell in love with the young man in front of her. Even when the two of you slept, you would naturally cling to each other. But not long after, an accident happened. While the young man was out fishing, a man who was thought to be dead washed up on the shore. When he returned and saw you leaning closely against the young man, he realized you were husband and wife. His heart instantly sank. The man who barely survived looked at you two living together on the island and immediately became suspicious, thinking his wife had betrayed him with the young man. He secretly used his lighter to start a small fire. When you and the young man returned and saw it, you were excited. With fire, you no longer had to eat raw food. But instead of being happy, the husband began yelling, ordering the young man around, and even tearing down the straw hut. The young man didn't argue. He shared food with him out of kindness. But the husband kept provoking him, and even insulted his wife. The young man couldn't take it anymore. He confronted the husband and swore he would no longer help them. After leaving, you and your husband rushed to the water source to clean yourselves. But without the young man's help, you two were clumsy and struggling. The young man secretly shared food with you every day. To repay him, you secretly gave him a wooden token. But soon, the husband discovered it. He immediately assumed the young man stole his lighter and dragged him to the beach, burning all of the young man's belongings. He even took the young man's last remaining item. You later stole it back for the young man while he slept, but this act would later cause disaster. The next morning, the young man noticed his money was missing and confronted your husband. You tried to stop them, but you were knocked back. To make peace, you returned the diving goggles to the young man. He wasn't angry. He only stared coldly at your husband. Your husband proudly showed the food he gathered, but you didn't feel happy at all. You felt guilty. The young man noticed your hair turning green from the dirty water and immediately realized something was wrong. Your husband exploded with anger, dragged you by the hair, and cut off a chunk of it. He swore he would make the young man pay. The young man had to find food to survive. He made a simple diving mask using a bottle, stones, heat, and a strap. To his surprise, it worked underwater, almost as well as a real diving mask. He could see clearly underwater. He caught fish, then discovered a sunken boat. He used all his strength to drag the boat toward the shore, risking his life. He had to resurface for air again and again. Eventually, he managed to pull the boat out of the water. The husband rushed over angrily, but the young man dragged the boat far away and began repairing the damaged parts. Even though the young man knew the boat couldn't truly be repaired enough to escape, he still worked seriously all night. By the next day, he used a plastic sheet and a simple sail to make the boat appear fixed. The husband realized this was his only chance to escape the island. Before being stranded, he was only a waiter on the ship. If he didn't leave now, he would die here. He quickly convinced his wife to leave with him and tried to escape before the young man could stop them. They pushed the boat into the sea. The young man ran toward them, but it was too late. The husband thought this was his chance to return to civilization. But the young man simply sat down, calmly drinking coconut water, watching them drift away. But soon, the woman noticed the boat leaking constantly. She tried plugging the hole, but nothing worked. Then they realized the young man never truly repaired the boat. It was all an act. The boat sank quickly. To survive, they jumped into the sea and swam back to the island. After hours of struggle, they finally returned exhausted. The young man grabbed his spear gun and charged at your husband. The husband was strong, but after almost drowning, he had no strength left. The young man stabbed him. He screamed and fell into the water. His blood dyed the ocean red. He died instantly. The young man tied the woman to a wooden post. To survive on the island, she had to obey him now. His eyes showed guilt and pity. Not long after, the rich man forgave his wife for betraying him. They lived together in a small wooden hut by the beach, living a simple life. One day, a fisherman arrived at the island. The woman was shocked. She never expected rescue. She quickly accepted the fisherman's food and blankets and got onto his boat. At that moment, the young man surfaced from the water and saw the rescue boat passing by. He laughed happily, thinking he could finally return to his luxurious life. But the fisherman ignored him and took the woman instead. He even took the young man's lighter and stole the boat. In the final struggle between the fisherman and the young man, neither survived. The only winner was money.